Welcome to the deep dive, everyone. Ready for a really cool deep dive. Today, we're going to be exploring the Phoenix Project.
Yeah, a novel that really dives into those IT challenges that so many organizations face.
We're going beyond just reading it, though.
Oh yeah, we're going to be using a memory technique. It's called a memory palace, and it's
Super cool.
yeah. And while we're at it, we're also going to tap into the power of delta brainwave learning.
Delta brainwave learning sounds intense.
It is, in a good way. It's like helping you really absorb and retain the information, like going beyond traditional reading.
Okay, so for our listeners who might not be familiar, can you break down delta brainwaves and memory palaces a little bit?
Sure. Delta brainwaves are basically those brainwaves that happen when we're in deep sleep, but also in states of deep relaxation. And
Like meditation.
yeah, exactly. And the cool thing is that when our brains are in this delta state, they're like super receptive to new information, like a sponge.
So we're kind of hacking our brains to learn more effectively. I like it.
Exactly. Now, memory palaces are a really ancient technique. You basically create these vivid, multi-sensory images in your mind.
Like a mental map.
Yeah, kind of. But you link those images to specific locations in a place you know really well.
Ah, so it's like turning your house or your neighborhood into a memory storage system.
Exactly. And because our brains are wired for spatial memory, it's super effective for remembering things.
Okay, I'm starting to see how these pieces fit together. So we're going to be using this memory palace technique to really understand the Phoenix Project. And we're going to be using delta brainwaves to really make that information stick.
You got it. And the really cool part is, to get into that delta state, we're going to guide you into a light state of hypnosis.
Hypnosis. Now, I know some people might be a little hesitant about that.
I totally understand, but trust me, it's completely safe and natural. It's not like stage hypnosis where you're clucking like a chicken or anything.
So no chickens involved. Good to know.
Yeah, no chickens. It's just about guiding you into a relaxed, receptive state where your mind is more open to suggestion and learning.
Okay, so we're going to help our listeners create a memory palace, guide them into a relaxed state, and then walk them through the key ideas from the Phoenix Project in a way that really makes them stick.
Exactly. And for our memory palace today, we're going to be using the Big Bus Tours New York route. We'll guide you through each stop, associating key ideas from the book with specific locations along the way.
So we're going to be hopping on a virtual tour bus together, using landmarks like Times Square and the Empire State Building to anchor those key concepts in our minds.
You got it. Ready to get started?
Absolutely. Listeners, if you're ready to join us on this journey, find a comfortable spot where you can relax and close your eyes for a bit. We're going to take you on an unforgettable mental adventure.
Great. Just settle in, close your eyes, and take a few deep, calming breaths.
That's it, nice and slow. Now, picture yourself in the heart of Times Square, surrounded by those dazzling lights and bustling crowds.
Feel the energy, the excitement, the almost overwhelming sensory overload. That's where our memory palace begins.
Stop number 1, Times Square. And this is where we meet Bill, our protagonist. He's the IT manager who suddenly finds himself in the middle of a major crisis.
Imagine Bill right there in Times Square, feeling that same sense of overwhelm as he grapples with his company's failing IT infrastructure.
The flashing lights, the chaotic energy, it's all mirroring the chaos he's facing at work.
Let that sense of pressure sink in. That's what we're going to connect with Times Square in our memory palace.
Okay, moving on to stop number 2. We find ourselves at the foot of the Empire State Building.
Visualize it. That towering structure, a symbol of strength, complex systems, everything interconnected.
A fitting representation, right?
Right.
This is where Bill is introduced to the 3 ways.
Yes. The guiding principles that are going to help him transform his company's IT operations. And think about the Empire State Building. It has these 3 distinct sections, right?
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Each section represents one of those ways: flow, feedback, and continuous learning. Imagine each section pulsing with energy, symbolizing that constant flow of work, feedback, and improvement.
Okay, so we've got Times Square representing the initial chaos and the Empire State Building symbolizing the 3 ways.
Next up, our bus rolls on to stop number 3, Grand Central Station. Picture the crowds, the rush, the constant movement.
That feeling of being swept along in a current that's out of your control.
And that's a perfect image for the company's dysfunctional IT workflow. Tangled train tracks, delays, bottlenecks, just like their system.
All those frustrated commuters mirroring the frustration of the IT team struggling to keep up.
Feel that frustration. Let it become part of your memory palace for Grand Central Station.
Okay, next up, stop number 4. And this one is a visual contrast to that chaos. We're at the Chrysler Building.
Ah, the Chrysler Building, with its sleek Art Deco design. Think elegance, efficiency, modern technology at its best.
And that's the point, right? Because it highlights the company's struggle with their outdated legacy systems.
Exactly. Imagine those legacy systems as these big, rusty gears slowing everything down.
The Chrysler Building is like a reminder of the urgent need for modernization, agility, a fresh approach.
Now, for a change of pace, our bus takes us to stop number 5, Bryant Park.
Ah, Bryant Park, a little oasis of calm right in the middle of the city.
Exactly. And that's what makes it the perfect spot to represent DevOps.
DevOps, that philosophy that emphasizes collaboration, breaking down barriers between departments.
Yeah, picture yourself relaxing on a bench in Bryant Park, surrounded by greenery, feeling that sense of ease and connection. That's the spirit of DevOps, where Dev and Ops teams work together seamlessly.
Okay, I'm starting to see how these locations are really helping to solidify the concepts. What's next on our tour?
Our bus is pulling up to stop number 6, the Grand New York Public Library. Think about those towering bookshelves filled with countless volumes.
And each one holding a piece of knowledge, a story waiting to be discovered.
Now, imagine those books representing all the undocumented knowledge within Bill's company, all those unwritten rules, the critical information that's locked away in people's heads.
So this stop is a reminder of the importance of documentation, making sure that knowledge is accessible and shared.
Exactly. And moving on to stop number 7, we're pulling up to the iconic Rockefeller Center.
Rockefeller Center. I'm picturing the ice rink, the bustling atmosphere, the energy.
Now picture this. A disastrous product launch unfolding right there on the ice. Servers crashing, customers complaining, total chaos.
Ouch, that's a visual I don't want to see in real life.
But it perfectly captures those cascading failures that happen when communication breaks down, processes are flawed, and teams aren't aligned.
It's a stark reminder of the importance of careful planning and execution, right?
Exactly. Now, our bus is taking us to stop number 8, and it's a place of peace and reflection, St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Those soaring arches, the stained glass windows, the sense of reverence.
Imagine Bill stepping inside, seeking guidance and inspiration amidst the crisis. Because this stop, it represents the company's mission, their higher purpose, the value they want to deliver to customers.
And that sense of purpose should be guiding every decision, every action they take.
Right. Now, let's move on to stop number 9. We're heading to the vast expanse of Central Park.
Central Park, the escape from the city, a breath of fresh air.
And in our memory palace, it represents something crucial: work-life balance. Picture Bill taking a walk in Central Park, recharging his batteries.
That's a reminder we all need sometimes, right? Especially in the fast-paced world of IT. Burnout is a real risk.
Absolutely. Central Park is that reminder to prioritize well-being, both for ourselves and for our teams.
Okay, we're making great progress. What's next on our virtual tour?
Next up, stop number 10 brings us to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Imagine the diverse array of art, each piece representing a unique skill or perspective.
And that's the key takeaway here, right? The importance of a diverse team, each member bringing their own strengths to the table.
Exactly. Now we're moving on to stop number 11, the Guggenheim Museum. Picture that unique spiral structure.
A spiral, like a journey of continuous improvement.
Exactly. And as you ascend that spiral, imagine each level representing a new iteration, a new improvement, getting closer and closer to achieving excellence.
So the Guggenheim is symbolizing that core DevOps principle of always striving for better.
Now back to the American Museum of Natural History for stop number 12. But this time, we're focusing on the dinosaur exhibit.
Dinosaurs. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Imagine those massive skeletons. They represent those complex systems that Bill's team is working with, every component interconnected and interdependent.
It's like that saying, one loose screw can bring down the whole machine. A small change in one area can ripple through the entire system.
Exactly. And on to stop number 13, Lincoln Center, home to the performing arts.
The symphony, the opera, the ballet, all those talented individuals working together in perfect harmony.
And that's the key takeaway here: communication and collaboration. Picture a symphony orchestra in rehearsal, each musician playing their part in sync. That's what we want to achieve in our IT teams.
And just like in an orchestra, everyone needs to be on the same page, listening to each other and working together to create something beautiful.
Right. Now we're pulling up to stop number 14, Columbus Circle, with its grand monument at the center.
A monument representing a significant achievement, a milestone.
Imagine it as a symbol of a successful product launch. Feel that sense of accomplishment, the celebration as the team gathers around it, recognizing their hard work and dedication.
Okay, so Columbus Circle represents that moment of triumph, the successful culmination of all their efforts.
Now, as our bus rolls on, we reach stop number 15, the Dakota Building. This one's a bit heavier. Imagine its imposing facade representing the weight of legacy systems holding the company back.
Those old, clunky systems that are resistant to change, slowing down progress.
It's a reminder of the challenges of modernization, the inertia that we often have to overcome to embrace new ways of working.
Okay, from the weight of legacy systems, our bus takes us to stop number 16, Strawberry Fields. That peaceful memorial dedicated to John Lennon.
The Imagine Mosaic, a place of creativity, inspiration, thinking outside the box.
So we're shifting gears here, moving from the challenges to the possibilities.
Exactly. Imagine Bill finding inspiration in the unconventional. Because sometimes the best solutions come from unexpected sources.
Like John Lennon's music, challenging norms, pushing boundaries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, on to stop number 17. We're at the Bethesda Terrace and Fountain in Central Park.
The Bethesda Terrace. Picture the cascading water flowing freely, a symbol of transparency, open communication.
Imagine information flowing as effortlessly as that water, fostering trust and collaboration within the organization.
No more silos, no more hidden agendas, just clear, open communication flowing throughout the company.
Now for stop number 18, we're at the charming Loeb Boathouse.
A romantic rowboat ride on the lake. A perfect image for building relationships, right?
Exactly. Picture the IT team enjoying a team-building activity at the boathouse, strengthening their bonds and improving communication.
Because a successful team is like a well-coordinated rowing team. Everyone working together in sync to reach their destination.
Right. Now let's venture deeper into Central Park for stop number 19, the secluded Ramble.
The Ramble? A woodland escape right in the heart of the city. Quiet, peaceful, a place for focused work.
And that's the key takeaway here. The importance of minimizing distractions, creating space for deep work, and focusing on completing one task at a time.
So it's about turning off those notifications, finding a quiet spot, and really getting to that flow state.
Exactly. Okay, our bus is taking us to stop number 20, Belvedere Castle.
Belvedere Castle, perched high above the park, offering those panoramic views.
And that's what makes it the perfect spot to represent gaining a high-level perspective on the system.
So it's like stepping back from the day-to-day chaos and seeing the big picture, the whole system, the interconnectedness of everything.
Exactly. Now let's head to stop number 21, the Great Lawn.
That vast expanse of green, often filled with people enjoying themselves, having picnics.
A perfect image for teamwork, shared responsibility. Imagine the entire IT team working together like a well-oiled machine, each member contributing their skills and expertise.
It's like a well-maintained lawn, requiring the efforts of many groundskeepers to keep it thriving.
Now for stop number 22, we're at the Delacorte Theater, known for its free Shakespeare performances.
Shakespeare in the Park. I love those performances. Such a unique experience.
Now imagine yourself watching a captivating play. This stop, it represents the power of storytelling, especially when explaining complex technical concepts.
Because sometimes, even the most technical information needs to be presented in a way that's engaging and easy to understand.
Right. Okay, we're back at the American Museum of Natural History for stop number 23, but this time we're focusing on the Hall of Biodiversity.
Biodiversity. So many different species, all interconnected, forming a complex ecosystem.
And that's what this stop represents. The vast array of tools and technologies available for solving IT problems, each one with its own strengths and weaknesses.
So it's about having the right tools for the job and knowing when to use them.
Exactly. Now, our bus is taking us to stop number 24, the Carousel.
Ah, carousel. With its brightly colored horses spinning in a circle.
Picture the continuous motion. It represents the concept of continuous delivery in DevOps, where software updates are released frequently, consistently, just like the carousel keeps spinning.
So it's about creating a system that's constantly evolving, improving, delivering value on a regular basis.
Now we're at stop number 25, the Naumburg Bandshell. Imagine a lively concert, the energy of the music, the crowd's reaction.
That interaction between the performers and the audience, that's what makes it special.
Exactly, and that's what this stop represents. Feedback and learning, both from our successes and our failures.
So just like a band adjusts its performance based on the audience's response, we need to be open to feedback to improve what we do.
Okay, for stop number 26, we're at the sheep meadow, that vast expanse of green. Imagine yourself lying on the grass, feeling the warmth of the sun.
A perfect spot for a peaceful afternoon.
Exactly. And it's a reminder of the importance of calmness, resilience. Picture those sheep unfazed by the bustling city around them. That's the mindset we need, especially when facing challenges.
So it's about staying calm under pressure, maintaining focus, and not letting setbacks derail us.
Now we're arriving at stop number 27, the iconic Tavern on the Green.
Tavern on the Green. Elegant ambiance, delicious food, a place for celebration.
And that's exactly what it represents in our memory palace. Celebrating successes, big and small. Picture the IT team having a celebratory dinner, recognizing their accomplishments.
Because celebrating wins, no matter how small, is essential for boosting morale and fostering a positive team culture.
Right. Now we're back at the Metropolitan Museum of Art for stop number 28. But this time, we're focusing on the Arms and Armor collection.
Arms and armor. Protection, defense, guarding what's important.
Exactly. And that's what makes this the perfect stop to represent cybersecurity. Think about each suit of armor as a different security measure, working together to protect the company's valuable data and systems.
So it's about building a strong defense, having layers of protection to keep those cyber threats at bay.
Right. And now, back to the Guggenheim for stop number 29. This time, we're focusing on the contemporary art collection.
Contemporary art. Pushing boundaries, challenging conventions, embracing new ideas.
Exactly. It's about embracing new technologies, new approaches, always seeking ways to improve and innovate.
So it's about having a forward-thinking mindset, constantly learning and evolving.
Now we're at stop number 30, the Elegant Frick collection. Think opulence, legacy, a solid foundation built over time.
It reminds me of building a strong organizational culture, establishing those solid processes and values.
Exactly. Now let's move on to stop number 31, the Jewish Museum.
A museum dedicated to exploring history, culture, and perspectives.
And that's what this stop represents, the importance of diversity and inclusion in our teams, bringing together people with different backgrounds and experiences.
Because a diverse team is a stronger team, right?
Right.
More creative, more innovative, better equipped to understand and solve problems.
Absolutely. Now, on to stop number 32, the Museum of the City of New York.
A museum all about the city's history, its evolution over time.
And that's why this stop represents learning from the past, understanding the historical context of our systems and practices.
So it's about recognizing patterns, avoiding repeating mistakes, and using those insights to guide our future decisions.
Now we're at stop number 33, El Museo del Barrio, a celebration of Latin American and Caribbean art and culture.
A reminder of the richness and diversity of the world around us.
And in the context of IT, it's about ensuring that the products and services we develop reflect that diversity, that they cater to a wide range of user needs and preferences.
So it's about building solutions that are inclusive, accessible, and relevant to everyone.
Now our bus takes us to stop number 34, the Studio Museum in Harlem.
A museum dedicated to showcasing the work of artists of African descent. A powerful reminder of the importance of representation and inclusion.
Exactly. And in the tech world, it's about creating opportunities for underrepresented groups, fostering a workforce that truly reflects the diversity of our society.
Because talent and potential exist everywhere, and it's our responsibility to nurture and support it.
Absolutely. Now we're at stop number 35, the legendary Apollo Theater.
The Apollo Theater. A place of incredible talent, electrifying performances, a stage for achieving greatness.
And that's what it represents in our memory palace, striving for excellence, delivering exceptional results in everything we do.
So it's about approaching our work with that same passion, dedication, and commitment to excellence that we see on the Apollo stage.
Right. Now our bus takes us to stop number 36, Grant's Tomb.
Grant's Tomb, a monument to leadership, to leaving a lasting legacy.
And in the IT world, it represents those leaders who inspire their teams, build a culture of excellence, and create a positive impact that endures.
Because true leadership is about so much more than just giving orders. It's about empowering others, fostering growth, and setting a vision for the future.
Now we're at stop number 37, the Cathedral of St. John the Divine.
The cathedral. A magnificent structure, but still under construction. Always evolving, always striving for something greater.
And that's what this stop represents. Continuous improvement, recognizing that our journey of transformation is never truly finished.
So it's about embracing that growth mindset, being open to learning, and always seeking ways to do things better.
Now let's head to stop number 38, Columbia University.
Columbia University, a hub of knowledge, research, and innovation.
Imagine those students, eager to learn, exploring new ideas, pushing the boundaries of their fields. And that's what this stop represents for us, the importance of continuous learning and development in IT.
Because technology is constantly evolving, and to stay ahead of the curve, we need to be lifelong learners.
Right. Okay, we're back at the General Grant National Memorial for stop number 39. But this time, we're thinking about the strategy and planning that went into building this massive monument.
So it's about taking that step back, thinking through the big picture, and having a clear roadmap before we start building.
Right, because a successful project, like a successful military campaign, requires meticulous planning, a clear vision, and a team that's aligned and committed.
Our journey continues to stop number 40, Riverside Church, a place of inspiration, a call to action.
And this stop represents the importance of vision and purpose in our work, setting ambitious goals that are aligned with our values and making a positive impact on the world.
Because IT work can be so much more than just a job. It can be a force for good, driving innovation and making a real difference.
Right. Now we're at stop number 41, the Soldiers and Sailors Monument, a tribute to courage, resilience, and overcoming adversity.
And that's such an important reminder, especially in the world of IT. We're going to face challenges, setbacks, but we need that grit, that determination to keep going.
And it's about teamwork, too, supporting each other, drawing strength from our shared purpose.
Okay, we're in the home stretch now. Stop number 42 takes us back to the Cathedral of St. John the Divine.
This time, we're focusing on those breathtaking stained glass windows. Think about how they tell stories, conveying complex ideas through visual imagery.
So it's a reminder that communication is key. Even when we're dealing with technical concepts, we need to find ways to make them clear and engaging for our audience.
Exactly. And for stop number 43, our bus is taking us to the Cloisters Museum, tucked away in Fort Tryon Park.
The Cloisters, a place of peace, beauty, a connection to history. It's a great spot to represent finding inspiration in unexpected places.
Exactly. Because sometimes the best solutions come from looking outside our usual sources of information.
So it's about being open to new ideas, being curious, exploring different perspectives.
Right. Now let's head to stop number 44, the iconic George Washington Bridge.
The George Washington Bridge, connecting Manhattan to New Jersey, a symbol of collaboration, bringing people and ideas together.
And in the IT world, it represents building those bridges between different teams and departments.
Because when we break down those silos, when we communicate and collaborate effectively, that's when we can really achieve great things.
Now we're at stop number 45, the Little Red Lighthouse, nestled beneath the George Washington Bridge.
The Little Red Lighthouse, small but mighty, a symbol of perseverance.
And in our memory palace, it represents recognizing those small but significant contributions, valuing the efforts of every team member.
Because every role, every contribution, no matter how small it may seem, is important to the overall success of the team.
Okay, our bus is pulling up to stop number 46, the Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum.
The Intrepid, a museum dedicated to exploration, innovation, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And in the context of IT, it's a reminder to keep learning, to keep exploring new technologies and approaches.
To never stop being curious, to never stop pushing ourselves to grow and innovate.
Now let's head to stop number 47, the Chelsea Piers Sports and Entertainment Complex.
Chelsea Piers, a place for fun, recreation, taking a break from the everyday grind.
And in our memory palace, it represents the importance of work-life balance, making time for the things we enjoy, recharging our batteries.
Because we can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of ourselves, both physically and mentally, is essential for achieving sustainable success.
Now we're at stop number 48, the High Line.
The High Line, a beautiful transformation, an abandoned railway line turned into a vibrant urban park.
It's a great example of adaptability, finding creative solutions to challenges.
So it's about being flexible, being open to change, and finding those innovative ways to leverage what we already have.
Right. Now we're at stop number 49, the Meatpacking District, a neighborhood that's undergone a dramatic transformation, blending the old with the new.
And that's a perfect representation of the IT industry, right? We're constantly adapting, evolving, embracing new technologies and ways of working.
Exactly. And those who are able to adapt and evolve will be the ones who thrive.
Okay, stop number 50 takes us to a place of deep reflection, the World Trade Center Memorial.
A solemn reminder of the importance of security, disaster preparedness, and ensuring the resilience of our systems.
Because in today's world, we need to be prepared for anything. We need to have systems in place to protect our data, ensure business continuity, and recover quickly from any potential disruptions.
Now we're at stop number 51, the iconic Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom, opportunity, the welcoming spirit of America.
The Statue of Liberty. It's about empowering individuals, fostering a culture of innovation, and providing the tools and resources people need to succeed.
Exactly. It's about creating an environment where people feel valued, supported, and encouraged to contribute their unique talents and perspectives.
Our bus rolls on to stop number 52, Ellis Island.
A place that represents the power of diversity. Millions of immigrants from all over the world pass through Ellis Island, each with their own story, their own culture, their own dreams.
And just like Ellis Island was a melting pot of cultures, a successful IT organization needs to embrace that same diversity of thought, experience, and background.
Now we're at stop number 53, Governor's Island.
Governor's Island, a peaceful escape from the hustle and bustle of the city, a place to relax, recharge, and gain a fresh perspective.
And that's what this stop represents for us, taking a step back from the daily grind, allowing time for reflection, and letting our creativity flow.
Because sometimes the best ideas come when we're not actively trying to solve a problem.
Right. Now, for our penultimate stop, number 54, we're at the iconic Brooklyn Bridge.
Brooklyn Bridge, a symbol of connection, collaboration, bringing people together.
And in the context of IT, it represents the power of teamwork, breaking down silos, working together towards a common goal.
Because just like the Brooklyn Bridge required the collaboration of countless engineers, architects, and workers, a successful IT project depends on everyone working together, sharing their knowledge and expertise.
Okay, and finally, we arrive at our last stop, number 55, the South Street Seaport.
The South Street Seaport, a place steeped in history, a reminder of New York City's maritime past.
It's about recognizing the value of learning from the past. Even as we embrace new technologies and approaches, we can glean valuable insights from those legacy systems and processes.
It's like that saying, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. We can learn from the successes and failures of those who came before us.
Right.
Wow. We just traveled through New York City, creating a memory palace filled with key concepts from the Phoenix Project.
And by connecting those concepts to specific locations, you've created a powerful tool for deeper understanding and more effective recall.
This is incredible, but I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
You're right. We've laid the groundwork, but there's still so much to explore. In our next segment, we'll delve deeper into those key concepts, connect them to the principles of atomic habits, and discuss how you can apply all this to your own life.
I can't wait to dive deeper.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Now that we've built this incredible memory palace in your mind, let's really dive into some of those key concepts from the Phoenix Project and see how they connect to the bigger picture and most importantly to atomic habits.
So our listener has walked through New York City, virtually of course, and they've absorbed all these ideas. Now we need to unpack them a bit, like how can they actually use this in their own lives?
Exactly. And one of the first things the Phoenix Project really highlights is the danger of working in silos. Remember Grand Central Station? Those separate train lines?
Yeah, total mess.
That's a really powerful image for what happens when departments don't talk to each other.
Like dev, ops, security, all those different teams.
Yeah, they're all working on their own little island.
And in Atomic Habits, it talks about building systems, right?
Yeah.
So if your company is set up in a way that encourages silos, it's like you're setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly. It's like, you're building a system that's designed to break down, and what happens? You get bottlenecks, delays, missed deadlines.
And ultimately, you fail to deliver value to the customer.
Yeah, and nobody wants that, and it creates this culture of frustration, burnout.
Yeah, nobody wins in that situation.
Nobody wins. But the Phoenix Project offers a solution. DevOps. Remember Bryant Park?
That peaceful oasis.
That sense of calm collaboration. That's what DevOps is all about. It's about breaking down those silos, creating this environment of shared responsibility. It's recognizing that everyone is working towards the same goal.
Yeah, and it's about creating a culture where people feel safe to speak up, share ideas.
Right. It's like instead of all those separate train lines, imagine building this high-speed rail system.
Smooth, efficient, everything connected.
Exactly. That's the kind of flow we're aiming for. And that brings us to another key concept, the 3 ways. Remember the Empire State Building with its 3 sections?
Oh yeah, a great visual.
Flow, feedback, and continuous learning. These are crucial.
And this connects so well with Atomic Habits. It's about setting up those feedback loops, constantly evaluating your progress, identifying those areas where you can improve.
Exactly. And it's about having that growth mindset, right? Always seeking ways to learn and evolve.
Okay, break down those 3 ways for us.
Sure. Flow, that's all about making sure work moves smoothly through the system. No bottlenecks, no delays. Remember the Bethesda Terrace fountain?
The water cascading.
Effortless flow, that's what we want in our work. Then there's feedback. It's about creating this culture where everyone's comfortable giving and receiving feedback. Remember the Naumburg band shell?
The band getting feedback from the audience.
Using that feedback to improve, to refine their performance. It's the same in the workplace. We need to be open to feedback. Use it to learn and grow. And finally, continuous learning. Remember our visit to Columbia University.
A place dedicated to learning, to expanding knowledge.
It's about constantly seeking out opportunities to learn and grow, reading books, attending conferences, trying new things.
So it's really about adopting that student mentality, that thirst for knowledge throughout your career.
Absolutely. Now, the Phoenix Project also gets into some of those technical practices that can really help you achieve these things, like automation. Remember the Chrysler Building?
Yeah, all sleek and modern.
That sleekness, that efficiency, that's what automation can bring to the software delivery process. It's about taking those manual, error-prone tasks and handing them over to machines.
It's like having a team of robots doing the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah, and this frees up the humans to focus on the more creative, strategic work. And if you think about it, this connects back to Atomic Habits, too. Clear talks about designing your environment to make good habits easier.
And bad habits harder.
Right. By automating those repetitive tasks, you're making it easier to focus on the work that really matters. And then there's limiting work in progress. Remember the ramble in Central Park?
That quiet, focused space.
It's about prioritizing, right? Focusing on completing one thing at a time instead of trying to juggle a million things at once.
And that ties in with the 1-minute rule from Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
If something takes less than a minute, do it now. Don't let those little tasks pile up and create mental clutter.
Excellent point. And then the Phoenix Project also really emphasizes the importance of monitoring and observability. Think back to the American Museum of Natural History, all those exhibits.
Thousands of artifacts.
It's like you need a whole team of experts just to make sure everything is running smoothly.
So in the IT world, this is about having systems in place to track what's happening.
Right. Yeah, it's about making sure things are working as they should, that you can spot problems early on before they become big issues.
And this connects back to Atomic Habits with the idea of tracking your progress. You need data to know what's working and what's not.
Absolutely. Now, it's important to remember that the Phoenix Project isn't just some, dry technical manual. It's a story about people.
Leadership, culture, teamwork.
Exactly. And that's where Atomic Habits really comes in. It gives you this framework for understanding how habits work, how you can change your behavior.
So we can use those insights from Atomic Habits to really understand the human side of the challenges presented in the Phoenix Project.
Absolutely. Think about leadership. We connected that to Grant's Tomb, that strong, steady presence. And for culture, we had the Frick Collection, that solid foundation built on shared values.
And Claire talks a lot about identity-based habits, right?
Okay.
It's not just about what you do, but who you believe you are.
Yeah, it's like if you see yourself as a leader, you're going to act like one. And if you believe in a culture of collaboration, you're more likely to create one.
But the Phoenix Project also shows us what happens when you have that toxic culture.
Yeah, the blame game, the silos, the resistance to change.
Like trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work.
It's not going to work. The Phoenix Project really champions building this culture of trust, collaboration where people feel safe to take risks, learn from their mistakes.
And that's where teamwork comes in. We picture that at the Great Lawn, everyone working together, enjoying themselves.
It's about creating this environment where people feel supported, motivated to achieve that shared goal.
So it's like the Phoenix Project is about so much more than just IT. It's about these universal principles.
Yeah, collaboration, continuous improvement, building those good habits that can really lead to success.
It's a blueprint for transformation, applicable to any organization, really.
To any team, any individual who's looking to achieve something great.
And by connecting those concepts to your memory palace, you've got this powerful tool for actually applying those principles in your own life.
Right, but we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. In our next segment, we're going to dive even deeper into those specific challenges, the solutions that are highlighted in the Phoenix Project.
I'm ready for some actionable takeaways. What can our listener do right now to start implementing these ideas? Okay, so we've laid the groundwork. We've explored those key concepts from the Phoenix Project. We've made those connections to Atomic Habits. Now, I think our listeners are ready for some actionable advice. What can they actually do starting today to implement these ideas and see real results?
Well, one of the most powerful things anyone can do, no matter what their role is to focus on reducing work in progress. Remember our stop at the Ramble in Central Park. That sense of peace and focus, that's what we're aiming for.
So it's about ditching the multitasking, right? That constant juggling act that so many of us are caught in.
Exactly. Instead of trying to do a million things at once, try focusing on just one task at a time. Complete it fully before moving on to the next one.
It sounds so simple, but I know from personal experience that it can be really hard to break that multitasking habit.
It can be, but trust me, the results are worth it. When you're able to truly focus on one thing at a time, you'll be amazed by how much more you accomplish and how much better the quality of your work is.
And it reduces stress too, right? I know when I'm trying to do a million things at once, I just end up feeling frazzled and overwhelmed.
Absolutely. It's like you're creating this constant state of low-grade panic in your brain. By focusing on one thing at a time, you're giving your brain a chance to relax and actually engage with the task at hand.
And that reminds me of what James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits, creating systems that minimize distractions and support your desired outcomes. It's like clearing your workspace, turning off those notifications, creating a dedicated space for focused work.
Exactly. You're setting yourself up for success by designing your environment to support those focused work habits. And just like those small steps we took through our New York City Memory Palace, each completed task, no matter how small, adds up to significant progress over time.
So it's about embracing the power of those small wins, those little victories that keep us motivated and moving forward.
Precisely. Remember our visit to the Guggenheim Museum, that continuous upward spiral. That's what we're aiming for. A cycle of continuous improvement fueled by those consistent efforts and those small positive changes each day.
This resonates with the concept of habit stacking from Atomic Habits, where you build those new habits by attaching them to those existing ones. So it's like finding those little opportunities to integrate positive changes into your daily routine.
Exactly. And remember our chaotic scene at Grand Central Station. The Phoenix Project really emphasizes the importance of identifying and addressing bottlenecks, those points in a workflow where work piles up and slows everything down.
Oh yeah, all those tangled train tracks and frustrated commuters, definitely not a recipe for success.
Right. It creates frustration, delays. It ultimately leads to a decline in productivity and morale. But just like we can reroute those trains to create a smoother flow, we can identify and address those bottlenecks in our own workflows.
Okay, but how do we even find those bottlenecks? Sometimes it feels like they're hidden in plain sight.
Remember our visit to Belvedere Castle? That incredible panoramic view we had of Central Park? That high-level perspective is key. It's about stepping back from the day-to-day grind and visualizing the entire system. That's how you spot those points where work is getting stuck.
So it's about taking a bird's eye view, looking at the whole process, not just getting bogged down in the details.
Exactly. And once you've identified those bottlenecks, you can start analyzing them, finding creative solutions. Sometimes it might be as simple as streamlining a process, automating a repetitive task, or providing additional training to a team member.
And that reminds me of the concept from Atomic Habits about making the desired behavior easier and the undesired behavior harder. If a bottleneck is caused by a clunky process, simplify it. Make it easier for work to flow smoothly.
Exactly. By addressing those bottlenecks, you create a more efficient workflow, you reduce frustration, and you improve overall team performance. It's a win-win-win situation.
And the Phoenix Project also emphasizes the importance of building a culture of continuous learning. I'm thinking back to our stop at Columbia University, that vibrant intellectual environment.
Absolutely. In today's world, continuous learning isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a necessity. It's how you stay ahead of the curve and achieve sustainable success.
It aligns perfectly with the idea of a growth mindset, which James Clear champions in Atomic Habits. It's about seeing challenges as opportunities for growth, not as setbacks.
Exactly. Encourage your team to be curious, to experiment, to attend conferences and workshops, to share their knowledge with each other. Create that culture where learning is valued and integrated into the daily workflow.
It's about making learning a habit, not just a one-time event. And for those in leadership positions, one of the biggest takeaways from the Phoenix Project is the importance of empowering your team. I'm thinking back to the Statue of Liberty, that symbol of freedom and opportunity.
That's right. It's about giving people the trust and autonomy they need to thrive, to take ownership of their work, to contribute their unique talents and perspectives.
It's about creating an environment where people feel valued, respected, and supported, where they can take risks and innovate without fear of failure.
And that ties in beautifully with the concept of intrinsic motivation from Atomic Habits. When people are intrinsically motivated, they're driven by a sense of purpose and passion, not just by external rewards or punishments.
So it's about creating that work environment where people feel excited to come to work each day, where they feel like they're making a real difference, where they're part of something bigger than themselves.
Exactly. And by fostering that culture of empowerment, you unlock the incredible potential within your team, leading to greater innovation, creativity, and overall success.
Well, this deep dive has been an incredible journey. We've explored those key concepts from the Phoenix Project, we've connected them to the powerful principles of Atomic Habits, and we've given our listeners some actionable takeaways that they can start implementing right away.
That's right. We've provided the roadmap, the tools, and the inspiration. Now it's up to each individual to take that next step, to embrace those principles, and to start creating those positive changes in their own lives and work. Remember, small changes, consistently applied over time, can lead to extraordinary results. So go forth, embrace the power of continuous improvement, and keep diving deep.
Until next time, everyone. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.